And we are back on the Dr. William Lester Show, coming to you live from the city of Atlanta, and we are all over the GameCon Radio Network. Remember to always listen live at GameConRadio.com. You're hearing the theme song to the classic police series, The Streets of San Francisco, with Carl Malden and Michael Douglas. And it is also our segue to our guest, Mr. Dick Kilroy. He is a founding member of the Citizens Volunteer Intelligence Agency, and he is going to be sharing with us what his organization does and how they feel that they are keeping us all safe from crime, terrorism, and all manners of evil. So let's see if we can punch him up on the line. Mr. Kilroy, are you with us?
Yes, I'm here with you. I'm very glad to be on your program this evening.
Well, we're very glad to have you. So, what can you tell us about the Citizens Volunteer Agency?
Well, first of all, the Citizens Volunteer Agency was formed in 2001 following the attacks on September 11th. And myself and several other concerned citizens felt that the time was right for the common man to take it upon his shoulders to help police and monitor and ferret out crime and terrorism wherever it may raise its ugly head in defense of this nation.
Okay, I see. So it's kind of similar to, we've always had, neighborhood watch groups and, the guardian angels and groups like that. So is it similar in concept to that?
Well, we go a little bit deeper than that. We are a fully equipped, active intelligence operation. The only thing that separates us from the alphabet agencies is we obviously operate outside the confines of the federal government.
Okay, so are you officially sanctioned by any governing body, any state or municipality, or someone who accredits agencies like yours?
No, we never felt the need to get involved with the politics of it. The politics make it very difficult to operate an effective intelligence gathering mechanism such as what we have in place, and so we very much forego all of the traditional ceremonial accreditations, and at the end of the day, it's not worth the hill of beans, and it's all about getting the job done, and so that's what the Citizens Volunteer Intelligence Agency is all about.
Well, have you ever run afoul of official agencies? They tend to look at things like that as vigilantism, and I don't know. I mean, if you're getting the job,
well, we don't. We are an intelligence gathering agency, and we do engage in covert programs, and so quite frankly, a lot of what we do goes unnoticed, not only by the general public, but also by the so-called official intelligence agencies, and so we really have never come into conflict with any of those government operations.
Okay, well, all right. Well, if you're getting the job done, I guess it's, we need all the help we can get.
That's right.
So, what kind of activities, as much as you can tell me? I know this is sometimes kept on a very
well. A lot of our operations are considered classified, and so there will be some areas that I'm just not at liberty to go into.
I understand that. So, what can you talk to me about?
Well, one of the programs that I'm most proud of is our technology program, our technology monitoring program, where where we're actually able to ensure internet safety, cyber safety. This has become a breeding ground where criminals and terrorists are acting with impunity, and there's a lot of things you can get away with on cyberspace, and so this is where a lot of these lowlifes have taken to.
Okay, so how do you what do you do? I mean, what's the most effective way for you to monitor and protect our internet systems? I know we're all hooked in. The whole world is hooked into the internet pretty much, and so it is a Wild West frontier kind of environment.
Well, you said it. It's Dodge City. It's Tombstone. But we have a very effective program. Essentially, what we do is we ride around in one of our patrol vehicles, and inside the patrol vehicle is a sophisticated computer system. So if we're in a neighborhood, we are able to latch on to various internet signals. We can lock on to an internet signal coming from a business, homes, schools, and we are able to access individual computers. Our technology is that sophisticated, so we're able to get in, and we have a system of protocols which allows us to access an individual's, for example, a password, a username, so that we can actually access individual accounts.
You're kidding. Is that some kind of, do you ever run into the problem of privacy issues?
Well, like I said, there's two ways to do something, the easy way or the hard way, and we don't have the time to play patty cake with people worrying about usernames and passwords. We need to get onto these computers and find out what's going on.
Well, okay. My guess is, though, that people would have an issue with you being able to log on to their computer and access their password and usernames. So, how do you get people's permission? I mean, do you just have people sign?
Well, this is a covert operation, so there is no permission. We are accessing these computers, and what we're looking for are the following. We're looking for terrorist activity or anything suspicious that could be associated or attributed to terrorist activity. We have a lot of people who are online, and they play these role-playing games, and we have found, according to our research, that this can be a front for terrorism.
People playing games are fronting, and they're actively engaging in terrorism through the games.
Well, that's what our research has shown. So we're looking at the nature of these games, a lot of these paramilitary games, modern warfare, all these type of things. Black is another very popular game, in which the players engage in various acts of espionage.
Well, now I've seen these games, and they're games. They're video games that people play.
Well, that. With all due respect, Doctor, that's something that's coming from an individual who doesn't have a whole lot of knowledge of the intelligence world and what goes on. It's a very dark, mysterious world.
Okay, well, all right. So, all right. What else?
Well, we're looking at a lot of these pornographic sites. You have a lot of individuals accessing pornographic sites through their computer, and so when we're able to access these passwords and these usernames, we're actually able to get in and monitor the type of sick, twisted sexual deviancy that is also associated with the low-life scum terrorist.
Well, now I admit that pornography is something that's very popular online, but I don't get the connection between that and terrorism.
Well, I'll say it again. You really don't have any real knowledge of how the terrorist mind works. And so if you knew what I know...
Well, what do you know?
If you knew what I know, you would know that this is a veritable breeding ground for people who are just waiting to unleash unspeakable carnage on the public. Now, let me get down to something else. Terrorist cells operate with large sums of cash. And so one of the other things that we're having to look into is banking information. So again, we are able to, through our system of protocols, we are able to access banking passwords, and we're looking at these accounts of these people and looking at the flow of cash, looking at when money is transferred, how much is being transferred. We're looking at spending habits and all sorts of financial information.
Well, Mr. Kilroy, now we're getting into something serious here. You're accessing the banking information of private citizens, and I think that you're really walking in some dangerous territory here. Don't you think people...
What I think is that people want to know that this country is being protected from terrorist attacks like 9/11. And so if we have to go into the bank websites and look at how much money is getting deposited, if we have to look at how much money is getting transferred from account to account, are you transferring money from one bank into an account at another bank? These are the type of questions. How much money is being spent? For example, Friday to Sunday. We're looking at weekend spending. These are all indicators of potential terrorist activity.
And again, who is sanctioning these type of operations?
I'll say it again. We don't get involved with the politics of accreditation and official sanctioning. We are only getting involved with making sure that every man, woman, and child, every decent, law-abiding man, woman, and child is protected from another potential terrorist attack. You're asking me a whole lot of questions, and so now I'm beginning to
wonder what?
I'm beginning to wonder if you're another one of these these liberal panty wastes who's always worried about their civil liberties.
Well, whether you want to label me as a liberal or not, to me is inconsequential. I think everybody should be concerned about their civil liberties, because that's part of what this country is all about. Now, I feel that there are just certain things that go with living in a free society, and I wouldn't trade them in for the security of a police state.
Wouldn't trade them in, huh?
No, sir, not at all.
Well, I think that you are doing what we call aiding and abetting the enemy. I mean, this is the kind of talk that the terrorists love to hear, because see, folks like you, with this open door policy, this liberal arts hippy dippy flower power policy, you're looking to have blood running in the streets.
I think that's a little bit dramatic, and I don't think it's a very realistic assessment.
Well, if you really knew what you were talking about, you'd be working with us instead of hindering or hampering our operations. Now, let me get back to what I was talking about, some of these other operations.
Well, before you do that, we've got to go to a break, and we'll come back, and you can continue on some of your discussion, some of your description on some of your group's activities. This is Dr. William Lester. This is Dr. William Lester Show. My guest is Mr. Dick Kilroy of the Citizens Volunteer Intelligence Agency, and some of the things he said have certainly raised some questions in my mind about the legality of what they're engaging in, and so I guess we'll give him some additional time to explain himself when we get back on the GameCon Radio Network. The American Institute of Metaphysics is the one place where you can study all of the greatest unsolved mysteries. Plus, you have the added advantage of being able to earn your degree or specialist certification in the privacy of your home. All of your materials are shipped directly to you. Be sure to take advantage of our interest-free monthly tuition payment plan and look for our new online demonology course. For more information, visit us online at instituteofmetaphysics.com or call toll-free at 1-800-965-8504.
Hey there, this is Coach Kip Kyle, Central Atlanta High School. You're listening to GameCon Radio. And if you think I want to change the way I run my football program, you can kiss my ass.
I'll be back on there.
We're back on the Dr. William Lester Show, and I have been talking to Dick Kilroy of the Citizens Volunteer Intelligence Agency, and he has been filling us in on some very interesting and controversial operations that his group has been involved in. And, I've just been a little bit taken aback by some of this, what I consider to be very intrusive. He says it's all done in the name of protecting us from criminal and terrorist activity, but I mean, looking at people's banking records, going onto their computers, looking at whatever they may have. Now, Mr. Kilroy, your organization has a particular legal quandary that you're mixed up in right now.
Well, I thought I said that I didn't want to go into that on the air.
Well, no, but I think it helps make the point. You are under threat at the moment of a lawsuit. Is that not right?
We feel that the individual in question has no real legal standing, so we're done.
But nevertheless, this gentleman, Michael Henderson, did file a complaint saying that the operations of the Citizens Volunteer Intelligence Agency led to him getting fired from his job at an insurance agency. And
we were engaged in a technology monitoring operation, and we were able to access his terminal inside the agency, and we discovered that he had a long track record of visiting several different pornographic sites, and this was a red flag indicator. It was a red flag indicator for a possible terrorist movement.
Okay, so you were looking at this guy's computer, and he had been on some porn sites in his office, and I guess people can, debate amongst themselves whether or not that's something he should have been doing. But how is that any of your business?
Well, the security of this country is my business, so we were able to access these websites and the numerous videos that he had been viewing and downloading, and we were able to successfully release this data on our website, and so
it became accessible to everybody with a computer, and someone else in his office saw it and knew it was attributed to him. And when his boss found out, he was fired.
That is correct, and so we were able to successfully remove potential terrorist, or ferret out a terrorist operative with that operation.
But this gentleman is this 37-year-old man who works as an insurance agent. So how did you figure that he was involved with terrorism?
Well, like I said, it was a red flag indicator, and once we were able to make this determination, we went public, and we knew that once we made this information public, he would be exposed, and we feel that that's just one more potential threat that's been neutralized.
Well, sir, you got that man fired, okay, and now you're going to be sued.
Well, again, we kind of it's kind of like water off our backs. It's a small price to pay for ferreting out and exposing these terrorist scum.
Well, now what is this about Social Security numbers and Facebook?
Well, these are other levels of access that we are able to gain through our series of technical protocols. An individual Social Security number, as well as their Facebook information. There are a lot of individuals on Facebook sharing information, passing along information, sometimes of very questionable content, and we have to monitor that to ascertain whether or not there is potential criminal activity, drug trafficking, gun running, arms shipments, other terrorist activities, and we have to keep an eye on that.
And what is this I'm hearing about your mail monitoring program? You're not going in people's mailboxes.
Again, when your objective is counterterrorism, it's no holds barred. The gloves come off, and we are able to do mail intercepts. We are able to monitor an individual's mail, incoming and outgoing, to keep tabs on potential chemical warfare, anthrax, and such, suspicious packaging, and mail bombs. Now, these are all things we've seen in the media, and so none of this should be coming as any surprise to the folks out there.
Sir, I just think it's a very intrusive, frankly, illegal.
We thank you for your legal expertise, Perry Mason.
I'm not Perry Mason, but it doesn't take all that to recognize that your organization is invading the privacy of individual citizens, all in the name of so-called security monitoring, and I think it's something that we have to be conscious of.
Well, you can be as conscious of it as you want to be, but these programs will continue. They will continue. Not only here in the greater Atlanta area. You have to understand something. Just in this city alone, we're talking about 5.5 million people. Okay, and but we also have associated organizations, particularly throughout the southeastern states.
You have additional groups like yours that are doing this type of thing.
Well, we've got. For example, just a couple of examples. We have the Florida Secret Swamp Patrol, the Louisiana Cajun Brigade.
All right.
We have the Tennessee Mountaintop Trackers, and we have the Alabama Crimson Activity Monitors, and they're all working in association with the Citizens Volunteer Intelligence Agency. We're coordinating all this information.
Well, I got to tell you, I think you guys are headed for a clash with the FBI or some other.
Well, yeah, like I said before, my advice to those type of organizations is to keep their nose as far out of our business as they possibly can, because we mean business, and we don't back down.
Well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see, won't we? So, well, anything else?
Yeah. Well, I just want to comment for a second on your attitude.
My attitude.
Yes, your attitude. You seem to be the kind of individual that might raise some red flag indicators, and I'm gonna be honest with you, no disrespect, but it's really hard for me to believe that you are a radio host.
Well, why is that so hard to believe?
Well, I've listened to a couple of your shows, and I got to be honest with you. It's clear to me that you just don't know what the hell you're doing, and why this whoever this guy Deadeye is, why he's got you on his air, why he's got you on his station running your mouth. I'll never know, but certainly doesn't seem like a legit enterprise to me.
Well, sir, let me tell you something. I don't appreciate you firing a shot off like that at me. I try to do a show that's interesting and entertaining to the listeners, and so for you
well, that's my point. Whatever it is you think you're doing is neither entertaining nor interesting, and so it leaves a person scratching their head while you're on the air. And one possible explanation could be that you are operating this show as a potential front for criminal and or terrorist activity, and because again, clearly this is not something that's supposed to be taken as a serious broadcasting effort. And it could be that the 2 or 3 folks listening in are in on it too, so we're going to have to run some checks on.
Well, why don't you do that? Why don't you run some checks and see what you come up with, and maybe we'll have you on again. Maybe.
I don't know what you...
This is the Dr. William Lester Show, and my guest has been Dick Kilroy of the Citizens Volunteer Intelligence Agency. And once I recover from that, I guess we'll have more show. Talk to you later.